Yeah.
This is Janelle Penny, Editor-in-Chief of Buildings, and I'm here with Paul Marshall, who is the Managing Director of the Active Shooter and Workplace Violence Division of McGowan Program Administrators. And he was just telling me about an innovative new insurance product, is it?
Yes. Yeah, so it's a new product. We help people, organizations prepare, respond, and then recover. The recovery is a big aspect in these property management, school systems, malls, shootings, in that we're trying to help the victims recover, and we're paying for trauma counseling, funerals, medical bills, because we don't want lawsuits to come, right? The traditional insurance requires a lawsuit. We would rather reach out to the public and help the healing process. And also we're helping the building owners with the property damage and then also business income loss. Great.
So what other things does it cover? You mentioned a few examples. What else can this insurance be used for?
Yeah, in stages, so we have day one, dollar one, that we're paying for the victim resource coverages, right? Mm-hmm. So we're reaching out to the victims, the patrons that are in your buildings, or employees. Many of these organizations are self-insured or have a large self-insured retention. Well, if you think of San Bernardino that had 24 claims, and they had a $250,000 deductible per claim. That's pretty expensive.
Right.
So we've come in there and we help the organizations reach out for that. We manage the business income loss. If there's property damage or if a property needs to be refurbished, meaning it's more of a mental anguish. Virginia Tech spent about $3.2 million refurbishing the hall. They didn't have to, but they felt they needed to in order to have people feel comfortable there. And then lastly, we're there for when the claims come in. When the lawsuits come in, we're managing these first dollar, day one, dollar one to help mitigate the situation.
Sure. How do people go about getting involved with this, and how can you look at your existing insurance to see where it might be falling short?
Yeah, so we work through insurance professionals, brokers, consultants throughout the whole country. We are a program manager, so we're the underwriter. We're basically the insurance company.
Okay.
And so they can reach out to their existing broker, or certainly they can go to our website and get some information, McGowanprograms.com. Certainly they can look us up at the BOMA conference convention.
Great. And how do you know if you need insurance that covers an active shooter incident or some other workplace violence?
Well, you just ask your question. Ask yourself the question. If you were to have an active shooter event at your facility, do you know the protocol of what your existing insurance policy would cover?
Fair enough.
My hunch is, it would not respond to the victims. It would have to wait on the lawsuits, which we don't want that to happen.
Right. And so how does this make life easier for both the victims and the building ownership and management if something were to happen, God forbid?
Yeah, great question. So we're answering the question, who will help the victims? Mm-hmm. This is the number one question that arises after these events, and it can be as large as the MGM event or a synagogue shooting, right? Or a church house of worship shooting. Everyone wants to know who will help the victims. This policy helps the victims, and by helping the victims, we're helping the organization recover as well.